If you want to get more of your students ready for the SAT and confident on SAT test day, one of the biggest ROI things that you can do is give them familiarity with the test and with the testing platform. The SAT is tested, the digital SAT, which it is all digital now, is tested on the Bluebook app. And having a new platform is just like driving a new way to work, right? You have to pay a lot of attention. You might need to check your Maps app a lot. It's a lot of cognitive load. And for students who aren't comfortable with the app and its features yet, and that includes the Desmos calculator, their brain is doing a lot of work on test day that is taking away from them actually focusing on the questions. So, one of the biggest things that you can do for your students is just have them play around in the Bluebook app. Have them do a practice test or multiple practice tests. Show them, have a little bit of an exploratory session where they create their Bluebook account, where they familiarize themselves with how to eliminate answers. There's a little icon there. You can eliminate an answer. They can create annotations. And I mentioned this one, the Desmos calculator, huge. That's a really, really, really important skill. And yeah, like I said, it's just like, once you've driven to work the same way a couple times, it starts to automate. And that is such a big benefit that you can give your students on test day. Confidence comes from familiarity, and familiarity comes from exposure. So let's flip that around. Expose the students to the test and what it looks like, and to the platform and what it looks like. Practice questions are great for this. The Bluebook app is great for this. You can even use the Desmos.com calculator. It's the same calculator that's built into the Bluebook app. The SAT itself also isn't random. So, like I said, familiarity with the Bluebook app and with the Desmos calculator and all the features on the app, that's super important. But also exposure to the questions that they'll see on the SAT. The SAT is not random. As we all know, it's a standardized test. And the beauty of that is that as students practice and get familiar with how the SAT tests different skills, that's going to also reduce their anxiety and their literal cognitive load on test day. Pattern recognition builds trust, right? You go into a coffee shop every morning, you have the same options, maybe the same people working behind the bar, and that place starts to feel familiar. You start to like it. We like things as humans that we're familiar with. And to a lot of students, the SAT is very intimidating and scary, much like it might be intimidating and scary to talk to a stranger, right? It's not as intimidating and scary to talk to somebody that you have spoken to a couple times. So as students have exposure to the test and they have exposure to the app, that's a huge win for you and for them. Familiarity at the end of the day is going to free up their mind for better performance on the test. Alrighty, well, sometimes you can really make your point in 4 minutes here. I thought I was going to talk for much longer. But yeah, if you are looking for something you can do with your students, even, like a 20-minute session of getting familiar with the Bluebook app is a really valuable thing to provide to them. Exposure creates familiarity, and familiarity creates confidence. And familiarity is going to reduce the cognitive load of dealing with something new and intimidating and get your students closer to where you want them on test day.